Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Developing Applications for iOS. My name is Heidi Gentry Colin, and I will be the instructor, facilitator for this course and curriculum. This orientation is to help you make sure you're comfortable with navigating Canvas and able to find all of the curriculum details of the course. It's also to make sure you fully understand the expectations of the course. So let's get started. When you log into the course, you'll be brought to this landing page. This landing page will look a little bit different once you're watching this video, just because this orientation video, will be right here front and center. Next, in regard to navigation, you can either find your list of things to do on the right hand side, but I would suggest once you get in to always click on modules. Essentially, that's where our course feed is. So once you click on modules, you'll see lots of information about the course. Under the course orientation module, you'll see all of the details that you're probably interested in right now and that we'll cover in a minute after I make sure everybody understands how to navigate their way through. The next module are some course resources that we will use as we go through the course. And then you'll notice additional modules set up from week to week that are dated, so you'll always know where you are. And at least at this moment, the material within is kind of grayed out. You can't access it. So here's the first thing that's really important to understand. These modules will be released weekly at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So what's important to understand is as you go through the course, every Monday morning at 10 a.m. is when your weekly module will be posted or actually released. Second thing to understand is that all of the material or all of the graded assessments within each weekly module are always due on the following Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. So for this week, you're going to jump right in and get started programming a playground. You're going to program a small Hello World application to make sure you have everything set up right. You're going to jump right in and start learning about constants, variables, and data types in the Swift language. You've got several quizzes and also a peer interaction, all due this week, Sunday night by 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. So that's the way your modules work. Again, our course feed is set up as weekly modules, always released at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and the graded assessments that are contained within are always due on the following Sunday by 11:59 p.m. And as you go through and take a look at the course feed, you can take a look at all of the items we're going to cover, all of the concepts that we're going to cover, and the fun we're going to have with the curriculum this semester. Again, always releasing each weekly module Monday mornings at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Now, if when you logged in, if you have an interface that looks like this, right, where things are collapsed, it might look like this. You can notice the little tick mark to the left of the heading for each week and just expand down that way. As an alternative, you can expand all of the modules by clicking the top right hand corner, expand all button, and then everything will be expanded out so you can see. So that's our course feed. That's how you navigate your way around Canvas to find the curriculum. Now let's take a look at the syllabus. So to get to the syllabus, you can either go through the course orientation area and click on syllabus, or you can head over to the left-hand navigation area and click on syllabus. Let's take a look. Now, in regard to the course itself, there's a couple of things to keep in mind. Number one, it's 100% online and asynchronous. What the asynchronous part means is you can enter in and work on the material anytime you want within those weekly modules. But again, we have, strict deadlines of Sunday night, 11:59 p.m. So no late work is accepted in this class, so make sure you hit those deadlines. Now, I want to talk about something that's really, really important, and that is the hardware and software requirements for this course. Now, it's important, or it's actually fundamentally required, that you have a Mac, okay? A Mac is required for this course. If you don't have a Mac, you will not be able to succeed in this course. That Mac needs to be running either Big Sur or Monterey. Second thing, the software you'll need for this course is free. You need Xcode 13. Now you can download it again for free at the App Store for your Mac. The next thing that's required is at least 6 gigabyte of RAM, at the very least. The reason why is we are running these apps that we're going to write throughout the course within a simulator. If you don't have at least 6 gigabyte of RAM, you're going to have a very hard time even instantiating the simulator. And if you're able to, you're going to become very frustrated when you're running it. So make sure your Mac has at least 6 gigabyte of RAM. And then for those of you all who are thinking, well, instead of buying a Mac or having a Mac or using a Mac, I'll just set up a virtual machine. That is not an option in this course. Simply because it's just been a terrible situation regarding students who have tried to do that in the past, and I just want to make sure running a Mac through a virtual machine is not an option. Neither is creating a Hackintosh. If you don't know what that is, that's okay, let it go. It's not important to anyone other than those who think they're going to take the course by one of those two options. And I don't want a situation where you've spent your time and you're halfway through the course and suddenly you're not able to do anything and you're receiving zeros just because you chose to do a virtual machine. It's no good. So make sure everybody understands you cannot continue this course with a virtual machine or Hackintosh. All right, moving forward, everything's online. As I said earlier, this is an asynchronous class, which means any sort of video interaction that's going to happen, you can look at it at your own time. Again, though, make sure you watch any lecture videos, any tutorial videos long before that Sunday night, 11:59 p.m. deadline, because as I said, no late work is accepted in the course. You can find my cell phone number is here under contact information. The best way to reach me is by using Canvas messaging. It's also called Canvas Inbox. Please make sure to only use that in regard to email. Please do not use the FHC Outlook email to send me something. I'll get it much faster if you use Canvas messaging. Make sure you log into the course at least every other day for announcements. There will be information that will be shared out regarding grades, curriculum updates, and tutorial information. So make sure you log in and take a look at those announcements. As an alternative, you can set up your notification settings to where any announcement or update I post can be sent to your phone or your email, whatever's easiest for you. We'll talk about evaluation and grading in a moment. We've already talked about the fact that it's online. You can take a look at the rest of this syllabus and make sure that you understand the Foothill student learning outcomes and course objectives for this course. I do want to talk to you about communication. When you go to the course feed, you'll see basically my communications policy. But I want to make sure that everybody's clear on this. In general, I will respond to you any questions that you send via the Canvas messaging system within 24 hours of you sending them, and that's Monday through Friday. Okay? So please don't wait until the last minute to send me a message using Canvas regarding your lab or anything like that. You'll see later in this orientation, I do require any questions that you might have regarding your lab, homework, anything like that, to be sent to me by Friday so that I'll have time to answer you and you'll have time to use that feedback to submit the best assignment you can. Let's take a look essentially at the course schedule. Now, under the course summary area of the syllabus, you'll notice all of the graded assessments that happen throughout the course and when they're due. Basically, you'll see that every single Sunday throughout the term, you have assignments, quizzes, or labs due by 11:59 p.m. Now let's talk about those assessments. Generally speaking, throughout the course, you'll have 3 categories of assessments. You'll have just-in-time quizzes that immediately follow some concept. These will be quizzes that'll have anywhere from 2 to 5, 6 questions worth 1 point each. You'll get 1 shot at each quiz. And generally speaking, I set up the timing as 3 minutes per question. So you have plenty of time, although not enough time to, Google or ChatGPT the answer of that question. So, please don't, try and look up every single answer to the question. The whole point of these quizzes are to give you just-in-time information as to whether you are comprehending the information that was just covered and to see what you need help with. 30% of your grade is based upon what I call peer interactions. Those are just discussion threads, but basically they are discussion threads that walk you through whatever process we're in developing some application or an overall application at the time. And then 30% of your course grade will be based upon labs in this course. All right, so I believe that is everything that you'll need in order to understand the course. Let me take a quick look and make sure if there's anything we've forgotten. All right, we've already covered the technical requirements for the course. I can't stress enough that a VirtualBox or a Hackintosh is not an option. You've got to have a Mac. You have to have a Mac to be successful in this course. Let's see, what else shall we take a look at in regard to, we've already covered the syllabus, communication policy. Want to make sure everybody understands, kind of my behavior in regard to this course is, in regard to feedback for your lab submissions, you'll receive a model solution to that lab. And, also obviously your feedback and grade in rubric form within 1 week of submission. But you guys, I usually have everything graded by Tuesday morning. So I like to get the grading taken care of on Mondays and actually allocate a significant amount of time throughout the day on Mondays to try and finish up all of the grading. But if I find that there's, some significant problems or significant amount of feedback, or any problems with the lab itself, or if I have lots of meetings that come up, I do ask for at least a week after submission, but it's never taken that long. So anyway, let's see. I will interact with you within our discussion threads as we go through. Again, please make sure that any questions you have are sent to me before, Friday, so that I can be sure and get back to you with whatever information you'll need to successfully complete that assessment by Sunday night midnight. Earlier is better, but the very latest is Friday. Okay? Let's take a look. Grading policy. I believe we talked about that already when we talked about the syllabus. If you need any technical support regarding Canvas, any student support services, there you go. Make sure you go ahead and download Xcode. App Design Workbook is something that you'll work through the entire semester. Your final lab in this course is basically design and prototype for your own personal idea. So that'll be a lot of fun. And project files that you'll need for the exercises you'll work through as you go through this course can be found here. After I grade your labs, I'll always post some example solution, and those can be found there under Example Lab Solutions and Course Resources. So I believe that is all of the information you need to get started. This information that's under week 1 will be released at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So don't forget your deadlines. This Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Again, late work is not accepted in this class, so please make sure that you hit those deadlines. I hope everyone enjoys the class, and I will see you online soon.